Hello there and welcome to my channel, Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and we've got a Panther Panzerkampfwagen 5 in front of us by Tamiya, which is model number 35065. And for those of you that have been watching me for a while, you might maybe recognise this one as it's something I started on the 26th of July. So that's like 6-7 months ago. It's stood on the desk, on a shelf, on a pile of kits. It's just been randomly moved around over the past 6 months, waiting for me to finally get my arse into gear and do something with it. It was actually painted all over in XF60 dark yellow. And I've just been waiting basically to just try and get myself to get this one finished. But the channel's a year old on February the 17th and I just want to kind of get some of the kits that I've started finished. So today, while I was waiting for my Airspeed Oxford to sort of dry off, I thought, I'll throw some paint on that Panther and maybe I can get going on it. So what I did is I've heard lots of stories about people using blue tack to sort of drape over these things and do a camouflage pattern on them. And I've got this white tack which is kind of old, and using a rolling pin I rolled it out, or tried to, and it was very, very hard. And when I came to drape my layers of white tack over the tank, it really didn't adhere very well, and I wasn't getting any interesting shapes. And I just thought, that's a load of rubbish. So I chucked it away and thought I'll start again. So I went to the shop, so I went out looking for some plasticine because I thought, well, that's going to be more pliant. I couldn't find any because apparently kids don't like plasticine these days because they've got computer games. But I did find this Play-Doh sculpt and mould clay, which I got in black and green and a few other colours. And it's much more pliant and easier to deal with. So I thought, oh yeah, we'll give that a go then. And I made myself some snaky shapes and proceeded to stick them all over the Panther as an experimentation. I mean, I'm not this isn't a particularly expensive kit. I think it only cost me about 13 quid. So it's an experiment and I've no idea how it's going to turn out. I've not really peeled anything off yet. I did actually notice that when I peeled this stuff off, it did leave a sort of blackish, sort of dirty residue on the dark yellow when I was kind of moving stuff around. So I then decided that it probably wasn't a good idea for me to take this off and move it around, because if it is oily, I'm not exactly certain how well some acrylic varnish is going to react to it. So whether this is going to work out like a nightmare or not, I've no real idea. So anyway, I thought it would be fun just to do a video and peel this off and show you what I've created. What I've also done today is I've had an experimentation with needles as well in the airbrush. I loaded a 0.5 into the airbrush to do this red brown XF90. I know it's not really a correct colour for using, in the German army, but I've got a couple of these, and I'm just using up some paint that I've got excesses of. I've also got a couple of these dark green 2 XF89s, so I thought, well, I might as well use those paints because I've got multiples of them, so I've got spare. It saves me using something that I might need later on. So anyway, we're going to start pulling this stuff off now, and we're kind of wondering what this black residue is going to look like. The green, I actually used a 0.2 needle, and I just did that randomly over the top of the brown. So let's start peeling this gooey mess off and see what happens, I suppose. And it's making a gooey mess out of everything. Yeah, it's all sticking to the thing. So it's going to need a bit of cleaning off, that is, by the look of it. A bit of attention is going to be required. Oh yes. Probably not the best stuff. Maybe we should have stuck with looking for plasticine. Bit of rubbing alcohol might get that off, I suppose. Oh dear. What a mess. So I think the object of the story here is don't use Play-Doh to stick on your models, maybe. I like the stripes though, the stripes look cool. So depending on whether we can get this messy residue off, will depend on whether this experiment has been a success and whether we use this Play-Doh rubbish again. I don't think we're going to be using it again though, because it's made a bit of a nightmare. So there we go. Now I'm going to have a go at trying to get this stuff off camera and see if we can't save the Panther, but the actual stripes look pretty cool, I've got to be honest with you. I think a bit off centre there. So anyway, let's see what we can do with this Play-Doh rubbish and see if we can't get it off, and we'll be back shortly, I reckon. Back in a mo. Okay, so we're back again, and after going through a whole bunch of cotton woolwoods to remove the grimy mess of the black Play-Doh, and what we kind of ended up with is this rather oily, dirty tank, which I suppose they are oily and dirty. So I'm not too dissuaded from my experiment currently. Like I said, I'm not too sure whether I'm thinking that putting a varnish on this is a good idea, but as this is sort of experimentational and it's not a throwaway thing because it kind of looks all right. I kind of like the tiger stripe or whatever you call it camo on it, but I was hoping to have more green. So I think I'm going to go and throw some more green at this now. And I think I'm just going to stand back with the 0.2 and I'm just going to give it a all over sort of green speckled sort of jobby and see what happens. Like I say, I might give it a little bit more of a rub down with some more cotton wool buds, but as far as some kind of weird weathering occurring that kind of looks natural, I don't think that's too bad. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to go and throw a bit more paint at this, and I'll be back a bit later on, I suppose, and we'll see what's going on. So you can see what it looked like there, and I've just been peeling it off and then rubbing the excess off with the like that, and it just comes off, but it leaves some residue behind. So I don't know. Okay, so I'll be back later on. Bye for now. And we're back again. So I don't know, it's kind of an experiment, and I've given it a sort of like dusting over with some of the green, and it just looks really filthy and mucky and shabby. So now I think this gives me the impetus to go and throw the rest of the parts on it, I think. And yeah, I'll be back later on with an update on how we've got on with our Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panther SDKFZ 171 Ausf A by Tamiya. Yeah, I've got to go and find myself a bucket now because I like putting buckets on things. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and thanks very much for putting up with me waffling and using this lump of Play-Doh, which I don't really think is that great an idea. So I'm off to the shops probably tomorrow, and I'm going to go and try and find some plasticine this time. Thanks for watching, and be seeing you.